successfully juggling through your many tasks while trying to be the best version of yourself can be one of the most rewarding experiences of life, yet a rather daunting task. Now join Cresta Durojaiye, Africa's leading productivity expert and life strategist, as she equips and empowers you with practical tools that bring organization and structure to help you be more efficient and live your best life possible. If you struggle with pulling it all together and need someone to handhold you through the process, this is the podcast for you. You're listening to Life Lessons with Cresta Durojaiye.
Welcome to the Life Lessons podcast. Now, there's this conversation I hear a lot, and lately I've been hearing it even a whole lot more. It's mostly heard when the year is gradually drawing to an end, or people are celebrating milestone birthdays like 30, 40, 50, or when we gather for our old students reunion and all that. You hear it a lot, and it goes something like this. Oh my goodness, another year is drawing to an end and I feel like I didn't achieve much, or I feel so unaccomplished, or I feel I haven't achieved enough, or I feel so behind amongst my peers, and so on and so forth. Now, the truth is that at some point or the other in the course of our lives, most of us have felt this way, either about ourselves or about other people, and most of us have made these statements. Now, if we are being honest, we will agree that I'm not very far from the truth. What happens is when these statements begin to come, you realize that the underlying issue is that something did not quite fall through or happen for somebody. And as a result, in different scenarios, as the case may be, somebody may decide to stop dreaming or doing goals because they did it before and it did not work. Someone may decide to stop attending the reunion gatherings or being in the midst of friends or peers because there'll be the usual comparison and, measurements. Where is this person? Where is that person? And checking of each other, competition, You know how people check each other out at these events and so on. You check others out. You check yourself in comparison with other people. Sometimes it also makes people afraid to celebrate life. So you're turning 50 or you're turning 30. You're just being very careful, because by the time you decide to do a big party, there's that consciousness that people, especially in the African culture, where they measure your achievements at a certain age by marriage or children or jobs or position or houses that you own or how much you're earning. People now become uncomfortable about celebrating life, because immediately you hit a milestone, people are measuring for you, even if you refuse to measure for yourself. But the truth is, life is not a race. That the year is drawing to an end or you haven't achieved much does not mean it is over. No, it is not over. That you are at a milestone age and you're not yet settled the way, culture or the society would measure, being settled. It doesn't mean that it is over. And it is also definitely not over simply because your peers have achieved certain milestones and you haven't. No, no, no. Again, I say it is not over, and life is not a race. It is only over when you die. And my apologies if that sounded a bit, morbid in any way. That was not the intention, but it is the truth. As long as you are still breathing, then it is definitely not over. Do not fall into that trap of, limiting yourself with either, people's, conceived mindsets or barriers, that make you feel it is possibly over for you simply because you've not achieved certain milestones at a certain age or within a given, time frame. Sometimes these cultural ideologies just limit us from being the best versions of ourselves, and they prevent us from fully living and fully enjoying life. Now, there's nothing wrong with the achievements in themselves. Don't get me wrong, but When they begin to leave us in a failed or hopeless mindset, then they are not okay anymore. That mindset of, oh my God, it's over. Till now, I haven't been able to achieve this. I haven't been able to do that. That it is over syndrome becomes a problem after a while, and it needs to be addressed and not ignored anymore, because the more you ignore it, the more you choose to either not grow yourself, the more you choose to hide away from everybody, the more you choose to be careful not to celebrate life so that people won't come and check, okay, what's the celebration about when this isn't in place, when that isn't in place. So it needs to be addressed. Now, do not assume that the final outcome of your life's journey or process is over simply because you're using cultural or societal definitions as a yardstick for your measurement of, success or achievement. Like the old proverb says, it isn't over until the fat lady sings. What does that mean? It means that we should not presume to know the outcome of an event that is still in progress. Rather, I would say I have a few helpful tips that I have used myself, and truly speaking, it's really kept me going. I've learned to stop feeling sorry for myself. Come on, shake it off. Shake off self-pity, shake off low self-esteem. Secondly, I've learned to watch my mouth. I am more mindful of the words that I utter. You need to utter words that strengthen your resolve to keep going. Another thing I do is that I guard my ear and eye gates jealously. I am careful what comes in through them, because what comes in through them is what feeds the mind, and it forms our thought processes. So letting negativity come in would just break rather than build anybody. I've also learned not to make excuses. If we have something to do, come on, go ahead and get it done. Don't keep looking for excuses why you can't do it or why you're struggling. Do it. If you have stuff to do, get it done. I've also learned not to compare. There's no point comparing and competing. Face your lane and make progress in it. Now, by comparing, you are working to become a better version of someone else instead of becoming the best version of yourself, because you're constantly using that person as a yardstick or a mirror or an image that you want to emulate. Well, it's okay to learn from people, but you are you, and you are uniquely created as you for a purpose. So face your lane and make progress in it. Now, another thing I do is I just keep moving regardless. Sometimes we get discouraged and we don't move anymore because it looks like our movement, in quote, is not it's not bringing huge effects. Forget about the huge effects. Just keep moving. Put one leg in front of the other and the other leg in front of the other, and just keep going. Keep going. As long as you are moving, you are making progress. And it is more important to make progress than to stand still and not move for fear that in moving you may not make progress. I would say keep moving. Now, finally, I pray. I'm a woman of faith. I'm not without apologies. I'm a woman of faith and a praying woman. So I pray. Praying keeps me constantly connected to God, and it keeps me on the right path. Now, over time and with experience, you will find what specifically works for you, what helps to keep you going on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. So what is most important is that whilst you're trying to identify what specifically works for you, just keep going. It's important that you never get stuck with feeling that it is all over. Keep pushing, keep going. And if you already have tips that work for you, it's okay to share with us. Please share them with us in the comment section, and you just never know who may need that help. So by and large, it's not over until it is over. It is not over until the fat lady sings. It means do not put an end or judge the end of a matter when it is still in progress. So go ahead and see how these tips can help you begin to generate your own unique tips that can help keep you going. Have an amazing week.
If you enjoyed this episode of Life Lessons with Cresta Durojaiye, now don't forget to leave a comment and, of course, share with those you love.